What if starter Pokemon had paradox forms? Whether it's Salamence, Gallade, or even an underrated Pokemon like Donphan, paradox forms have given new life to old Pokemon. But one group of Pokemon has been completely snubbed, and that's starter Pokemon. But not for long. One of the best artists in the Pokemon community, Ondu region, has made starter Pokemon paradox forms for almost every single starter Pokemon. Let's get right into it. We're gonna go in random order, so get excited. First, we have Iron Kicker, a fire psychic version of Blaziken. According to the Pokédex, it can execute impressive jumps and stay airborne for minutes, facilitating the hunting of its prey. It has extremely high attack and special attack, making it a very good mixed attacker, and of course is extremely speedy. It also introduces the brand new signature move, Lightning Kick. It reduces the opponent's defense by 1 stage, but in an electric field, it has a 100% chance of paralyzing the opponent. With 80 damage backing it, it's going to be pretty hard to beat. Up next, we have a Gen 9 starter, Winged Mask. Ooh, this takes Meowscarada and makes me love it 10 times more. Inspired by Manticores, saber-toothed tigers, and keeping the Meowscarada mask and theater kind of role, it looks freaking sweet. I love the wings, the colors. Oh, it's amazing. It's a grass ghost type Pokemon with a new signature move called Scavenger. If the user faints with this attack, it absorbs 100% of the HP left. That's pretty broken. And its stats are pretty nice too. Solid HP and defense with amazing attack and speed. Okay, time for a fan favorite, Greninja as Iron Vanish. A water poison type, which is an extremely strong typing and one of the sickest designs ever. It has a gas mask coming from its mouth, leaking out smoke. And in the future, Greninja's tongue becomes this really cool spiky tail. That looks dangerous. Its shiny is bananas. That is one of the coolest shinies I've ever seen. It has a crazy stat distribution, pretty weak HP, defense, and special defense, but enormous special attack and speed. This thing will just be knocking out your Pokemon left and right before we even get a chance to hit back. And also, instead of having water shurikens, it now has poison darts. This attack can hit 3 times in a row. Each attack has a 90% chance to hit and a 100% chance to cause a status damage to the opponent. Pretty freaking sweet. It inflicts a status condition based on the amount of times the number it hit. If it hit 1 time, the opponent becomes confused. If it hits 2 times, they get seriously poisoned. And if it hits 3 times, which is pretty likely, it'll put it to sleep. That's pretty sick. Then we have a Pokemon that is pretty underrated, Emboar, getting a huge improvement in design in my opinion. Many people have been wanting Emboar to go on all 4s ever since it got revealed back in 2010, and now we can see what it would look like on all 4s, and honestly, it looks way better. We also got rid of its fairly basic fire fighting typing, and instead it has a fire dark typing now. And I gotta say, this is better than the original across the board. It has massive HP and really solid defenses, making it our first bulky paradox Pokemon thus far. But don't worry, it has pretty good attack too. It's just extremely slow, but it won't matter. It can suck up hits. It can suck up hits left and right, so it doesn't even matter if it's slow. It could have 1 speed and it'd still be killer. It's inspired by Zelda Breath of the Wild, and it looks really nice. According to its Pokédex, it's not violent. It's peaceful and relaxed, but when it enters combat, it fights with all of its might. Yeah, I wouldn't want this dude against me. I'd want it with me, thank you very much. Wow, Rillaboom was already sweet, but now it's even sweeter. Electric Grass, one of the coolest type combinations in my opinion, and seeing Rillaboom's drums get digitized in the future is super cool. And its shiny, crazy color combo, I'm obsessed. Massive attack, massive special attack, and pretty solid defenses across the board with solid speed. This thing would be maybe even better than its original in competitive battle. And it has Lightning Kick, the same move that Blaziken had earlier, as well as Charge Shot. It's inspired by DK and Stereo Systems. Then we have one of the coolest Paradox Pokemon you'll see in this video. We have Swampert's Paradox form, Brute Chaos. Now you're probably thinking this thing looks super weak. I mean, even Totodile could probably beat this thing in a battle. But don't worry, it turns into this massive monster. And how it does it is super duper cool. So according to the Dex entry, Brute Chaos is a small and cute being. But when it absorbs water, it alters into its true form, increasing its strength significantly. Great HP, great attack, solid defenses. This thing is also extremely cool looking. And it has a new move, Double Mod Coup. It attacks with both arms covered in mud. A 2-hit move, each hit reduces the opponent's accuracy by 1 stage. Get hit by this thing twice, you're probably gonna miss all your shots. And I love the inspiration behind the design. It's sweet. Infernape has one of the most creative designs here with Wisdom Flame, the past form of Infernape. The design is really interesting. I love how colorful it is. Its stat distribution is very silly. It has really weak HP, defense, and special defense, but insanely high attack, special attack, and speed, similar to the Greninja we saw earlier. Maintaining a perpetual prayer-like pose, it never eats, sleeps, or engages in any other movement. It has Vital Drain, which is kind of like a Giga Drain type of move. Now, I am not a big fan of Chestnut. A lot of people don't like Chestnut, and that's so valid. But Iron Fortress, okay, I'm standing. A Grass Steel type is always a fun time, but this design is just sweet. It has like electric goo coming from its arms. It kind of looks like there's crayons or pens sticking out of its shield. It's so cool. And the shiny, it turns into pink. And for a gay like me, you already know I'm loving for that. Its attack and defenses are stellar. Alright, this thing's gonna be taking hits and shooting them right back at ya. Especially with its signature move, Lead Shield. It protects the user, and if it's hit by a contact hit, the target will be paralyzed. So kind of its own little King Shield kind of thing. Now I gotta say, this is definitely top 3 for me, because the colors on this freaking Feraligatr are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life, okay? And I've seen pinkish red with this bright blue is just freaking stunning. And Feraligatr has always been scary. I've had a few nightmares about Mr. Feraligatr before, but this man, oh, forever, never ending nightmare. Sorry, Darkrai, your gig has been stolen. And that shiny, oh my god. Oh my god, this might be one of the best Fakemon I have seen in my entire life. And it's giving us a typing we need to see more of, a water fire typing. And this looks perfect. It has amazing defense and surprisingly really good special attack. And its new move, Magma Steam, attacks with a powerful blast of magma. Ooh, I love magma. Dealing super effective damage to ground and rock types. That's super interesting because it is a fire type move. The Pokemon using this attack loses 33% of health, Delta's damage, but it doesn't matter, you're dying anyways. Alright, let's get into some classics now. Let's do the Gen 1 starters, starting with Venusaur. This thing is just good vibes, okay? I'd hang out with this guy. You might not agree with me, but you don't have to be invited, okay? You can have FOMO elsewhere. Me and Jungle Parish, we're hanging out. A Poison Dark type is super cool, and its design is just sick. There's a lot of nasty poison being emanated. This thing probably smells horrible. I will be packing a nose plug for our hangout. Jungle Parish inhabited the planet during the time of dinosaurs, being its main predator. Its tentacles capture any unsuspecting creature, then it sprays a sleeping gas. Oh my god, this thing is just nasty. It's evil, and its stat spread is super consistent. It's got good stats everywhere you look. Then how about Blastoise? Before we get any further, I just have to say, this 009 on the cannon is one of the smartest things I've ever seen in my life. I mean, what good branding this Blastoise has. Of course, being the 9th Pokemon in the Pokédex. And I love bringing Blastoise into this future. Okay, Blastoise, his tech is so 1996, okay? Those little cannons were cool back in the 90s, but you gotta evolve into the 2020s, my friend, and this is such a great way of doing it. Water Electric is a great typing. We've seen great success with Rotom in the past, so it's a good time. And that shiny is wild. Alright, now, Charizard, he's already got 30 forms. You could say he doesn't even deserve a Paradox form, but Chaotic Paradox is a smash hit. Alright, there's a lot going on in this design, maybe even a little too much, but I'm obsessed, okay? This Fire Steel type 2, stop it. It's inspired by all the past forms of Charizard, Koraidon, and Miraidon, as well as Cyborg? I mean, that's sick. Speaking of sick, I know a lot of you people get sick when you see Inteleon. How about its Paradox form from the future? I mean, he was already good at sniping, but give Inteleon the Dragon Ball Z tech of it all, oh, this thing's gonna snipe left and right without even trying. I love the design of this tech around its eyes. I mean, that is just so genius. This is why I really wish future Pokemon looked like more in the games. Like, this thing is so futuristic and takes a bunch of concepts of the future and integrates it perfectly in the design. Also, it's a water psychic type. Sign me up. And that shiny, oh my god, that is everything. Speaking of everything, oh my god, Delphox is a Pokemon that I really want to like, but I just can't get behind its design. But Maleficent Wildfire, oh my god. The watercolor-esque tail, oh my god. I mean, this thing is awesome. I always thought Delphox would kind of look cooler on all fours, and I feel totally validated. This thing is so fun. Fire Fairy is an amazing typing, the shiny is amazing, and it's inspired by Naruto, and I love Naruto. Superior is giving big villain vibes as Forbidden Fruit. I mean, it is a grass poison type, which is kind of giving villain vibes already. It has an Applin dangling from its tail, trying to lure you in. So fun. According to the Pokédex entry, it enjoys watching its prey suffer. I told you it was a villain. Iron Paladin. Oh my god, I did not know I needed this so much. Turning Empoleon into a Jedi Master. Oh my god. And Steel Electric. Ah, such a good typing. It's very patient, never attacking first, waiting for its opponent to make the first move. Then it delivers a lethal blow with its lightsaber. Oh my god, that's sick. Here's another Pokemon that I think looks way better as a Paradox form. Incineroar as Blazing Roar. I love this ring around its neck that goes into this circular flame. And I love this black and red color combo so much. Then he's got these rotten looking yellow nails. I like those too. The shiny, sweet, and of course has monstrous attack stats. Now for another Gen 7 favorite, Decidueye as Iron Arrow, a fighting ghost type, another fighting ghost type, but this is just sweet. Its leaves that it shoots out from its body are now these digitized like glass crystals. It's inspired by drones, which is actually a really cool concept. Instead of using leaves, drones. To finish out the Gen 7 love, we have Primarina's Iron Future form, Iron Melody, which I just think is so cool. Of course, turning Primarina's music idea into a futuristic music idea, kind of like how we did with Rillaboom and the drums earlier. And this Fairy Electric typing is just amazing. The shiny is fantastic, and of course, it has a gigantic special attack stat. And a new move, Captivating Melody. It is a status-inflicting move that reduces special defense by 2 stages, and in double battles, it affects both opponents. It can do that real quick, then hit you with a Dazzling Gleam next turn, and it's over. Our last Gen 3 starter of the bunch, we have Iron Lights, which kinda is making Sceptile look like a electric Christmas tree. A Dragon Electric type, keeping that dragon type from its Mega Evolution, and honestly it looks a lot like its Mega Evolution. Iron Lights is charged with a large amount of electrical current. It runs through its entire body, providing with energy. It's got amazing attack and amazing special attack, so you can really use any attack you want with this Pokemon, and of course some really great speed. It has a new move called Draco Missile that can break screens, which is super cool, and also Lightsaber, which is an attack that will do double damage on electric terrain. Inspired by Frankenstein, Christmas trees, and its own Mega Evolution. Bright Petal is a new form of Meganium, a Pokemon that also deserves some more love, or at least a new form to bring it some more fans. It needs it. A Grass Fairy type is always welcome in my heart, and I love the petals along its tail. Kind of look like fake props you'd seen on a theater stage, and I really like that look. The shiny is absolutely amazing, and it has one of the biggest HP stats I've seen on this list, if not the biggest. which is really cool with great defenses. I personally love bulky Pokemon, so this is a really cool Pokemon I'd love to see in real life. Look at that speed. Oh my god. There's a new move called Bright Powder. The Pokemon that uses this attack becomes the center of attention. If hit by a contact move, it spreads spores that cause drowsiness, paralysis, poison, or confusion. And on the contrary, if it's hit by a fire attack, it'll cause an explosion that will affect the Pokemon on the field. That is such a cool move. Samurott is now standing on 2 feet, a big thing that a lot of fans wanted with the Hisuian form, as Feral Edge, a water rock type. That shiny is one of the best shinies I've ever seen in Pokemon history, with an amazing defense stat and attack stat. This thing can take a hit and lash it out too. It also has a move called Stone Blade that inflicts damage and sets up Stealth Rock on attack. That's awesome and really powerful. I just think this design is freaking amazing. Spectral Drake is a spin on Typhlosion's Hisuian form, and I gotta say, this would be, in my opinion, the coolest looking dragon ghost type. I'm sorry, I said it. This shiny, of course, even better than the original, has an amazing speed stat and amazing special attack stat. Iron Race is a really fun spin on Cinderace, probably becoming an even better soccer player now that it has this wheel as a leg and a spike on its other leg. I really like that it prioritized its use as a soccer player and really enhanced that part of its design. Fire Electric is one of the coolest typings in my opinion, and it really delivers on that typing. Iron Race can accelerate from 0 kilometers an hour to 270 in fractions of a second. Now that's a fast Pokemon, and you can see it in the speed stat. It would be one of the fastest Pokemon in Pokemon history. And of course, it has Lightning Kick, a move we've seen a few times so far in this video. And it's inspired by Super Mario soccer games. That's awesome. Now for a Pokemon that is kind of controversial. I know a lot of people don't like Quaquaval. Well, do you like the future form of Quaquaval more? I hope you would, because I love Quaquaval and I really love this form as well. It's a psychic fighting type Iron Dancer. Great special attack. Now its Pokédex entry is really interesting. Iron Dancer's helmet serves to read the minds of its viewers, processing the accumulated information and recreates projections of each viewer's deepest desires. By reading the mind of whoever sees it, it can know their fears and insecurities and be careful not to disturb Iron Dancer because it can lock you in a dark illusion thanks to its torture dance. Yeah, I'll just pass hanging out with Iron Dancer. Now let's read its signature move, Torture Dance. It performs a hypnotic dance, shows the greatest fears and insecurities that the Pokemon sees. It reduces by 1 stage the strongest attack stat, attack, or special attack of all opponents on the field. And in a psychic terrain, its effects are doubled. That's a really cool gimmick. Iron Voice is a new form of Skeledirge, and it's a normal ghost type, which is a pretty strong typing. It has a new move, Spectral Voice. It emits a powerful gloomy noise, which has a 50% to paralyze the opponent. If the opponent is already paralyzed, it then has a 30% chance to flinch. That's really, really cool. And finally, I saved one of the best for last. I love Iron Planet. I think the design is such a fun concept, and it gave it a brand new typing, a Cosmic typing, Ground Cosmic. It has amazing HP, attack, and defenses, and its description is so cool. It transmits and sends information thanks to the satellite dish on its back. It has a new move, Grav Crash. It deals damage. Its power depends on the weight of both the user and the target. The lighter the target in comparison to the user, the greater the power. That's pretty sweet. It's inspired by satellites and BB-8 from Star Wars. So which one of these were your favorite Paradox forms? I thought there were so many amazing designs. I want to give a huge shout out to Andrew Region / Zeldo, they go by both names, on Instagram. Please go check out their Instagram and give them a follow. They're one of the most talented artists I've ever met, and they are so kind too. I was able to talk to them over the course of the last year or two, and they've been so kind to me. Thank you so much to the artist. Follow me for more videos, and I'll see you later.